the My Two Cents. This time I've got Paul live. We are discussing Halloween tonight. Woo!
Yeah, it's my time of year, and what in the hell have you got on your head?
This is very hot, let me tell you. But anyway, you can see I've got my Halloween assortment back here. So I couldn't get it any higher than that, unfortunately. So it's just kind of clustered behind me. But you'll see glimpses of it throughout the show. And basically, we're just going to be talking about Halloween. But there are two things that I would like to talk about. The first off, we have to talk about is the Annunciation school shooting.
Yeah,
It was a terrible tragedy that, again, should not have happened. We need to do better in this country. I don't know what it's going to take to get politicians to finally wake up and realize how bad the situation is. But here we are with yet another school shooting and no new laws to prevent it from happening again.
yeah. There's nothing going to happen. I mean, if Chris, if something was going to happen, it would have happened during Sandy Hook when 40 some kids got mowed down.
Or Uvalde or Newtown or way back to the beginning. What was it? Columbine.
Columbine. There's not going
Columbine
to.
was the first major school shooting I remember.
The NRA has all these politicians in their back pocket. Nothing we can do. They're
Oh,
not
it's
going to
like
do
big oil.
anything.
It's the same as big oil.
They're just not going to do anything. It's
But the other thing I want to touch on with this real quick is the fact that people are trying to fault transgender people because a transgender shooter committed this horrible act. And I am not in any way defending the act of this transgender shooter. I am not justifying it by any means, but we do have to start looking at society. First off, let's point out there's since 2018, there have been four mass shootings committed by transgender people, well over 100 committed by females, and I believe the number was over either 1,000 or 4,000. I'm guessing 4,000 with all the mass shootings we've had committed by males. We ignore that because we can attack the transgender community because this one shooter out of four total transgender shooters can prove their point against the transgender community. The second thing I want to point out, and this goes across the board again because I believe Columbine was also from kids being bullied. We need to start teaching empathy. We need to start teaching caring. We need to start teaching acceptance of each other.
um
What'd you have?
Brian just chimed in. He said it was over 4,000 shootings. So
That's what I thought. So thank you,
thank you,
Brian,
Brian.
for letting me know. I was thinking it was over 4,000 because we've had how many mass shootings? We have enough to average more than two a day, I believe, every
I
year,
remember
and that's ridiculous.
one that also sticks out in my head is the one where that dude walked into that um Batman showing of the Dark Knight and
Yep,
walked in Colorado in that theater and started mowing people down with those guns. That's
because he
another
was
one.
emulating the Joker,
That's another one that I'm thinking of.
and I've seen where that's her screen name is Stacy is right. I think she was the one that was in Clueless. I can't remember her last name. Is it Stacy Dash? Maybe Brian can help us out here. But she posted a thing saying no liberal called for gun bans after Trump was shot. And then, of course, somebody chimed in with a headline saying that Biden tries to pass legislation to ban the gun used in the assault on Trump.
Yep.
So
They only want to hear what they want to hear. I don't think, years ago, um, Stacey Dash. Years ago, it was Stacey Dash.
that's what I thought.
Years ago, they let that assault gun ban rifle thing go dead from President Bill Clinton. No, Bill Clinton put that, wasn't it Bill Clinton? I think it was Bill Clinton. Put it into law.
I'm sure it
And
was because it was a Republican government that let it lapse.
yeah, and so it died, and then they never did put it back in because the Republican government in charge at the time was like, no, we want our people to have AR-15s. We want them to kill everyone. But you know what? No other countries out there, unless you are crooks or terrorists or whatever, they have those type of assault guns. But like we're the only ones that do mass shootings. I just I'm done with it. I'm just ready. Oh, by the way, it's 1 point some odd billion dollars tonight. Yeah, if Paul wins, I'm disappearing. Because as of right now in North Carolina, you don't have to divulge when you win the lottery. So if I win, I'm not going to tell anyone, but there will be signs.
Well, if I win, a miracle has happened because I didn't buy a ticket,
Well,
but I never do.
y'all will never hear from me again.
So, in other words, tune in 2 weeks and Paul will be right here.
Stop it! Don't you put bad juju on me. I want to win that so bad. I'm tired of working
Who
and
doesn't?
tired of just, ugh. I need to be living the high life, like having breakfast in Blowing Rock, whatever. So, anyway, we'll get back to school shootings.
Well, I was going to move on. I wanted to remind people again, like I was saying earlier, remember words do hurt. Words do cause mental
God.
problems, and we need to realize what other people are going through to understand and to retrain ourselves to not attack them, not belittle them, not take away their rights, not refuse to allow them to pee in a bathroom. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if we keep on the path we're going, you're going to see a lot more violence and problems caused by the transgender community just because of what they've been pushed to. And again, not justifying it, not saying that it is a good thing. I am saying we need to change ourselves and accept them. Because one thing, and before we get off this altogether, I want to point out nobody chooses to be gay, straight, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, what have you. You either are or you aren't. No amount of display on television will change that. No amount of display in the movies will change that. Because Snoop Dogg's afraid to take his grandchild to the theaters now because there was a lesbian kiss in that Buzz Lightyear movie.
I did see where
And
Jamie Foxx came out speaking against him, by the way.
it was the Wayans, Marlon
Wayans,
Wayans.
excuse me, the Wayans. Excuse me, is the
But
Wayans.
they did Snoop Dogg, what I saw, said that his grandchild asked him how the female couple was able to have babies. And here was my question. If your grandchild is old enough to understand heterosexual sex, why are you so bothered about your grandchild knowing about homosexual sex? I mean,
Right.
really.
That's a good question. So,
So,
growing up, when we did Chris, we didn't have that on television. We didn't see that in the movies. You know what I'm saying?
no. And that was the other point I was going to make. If seeing it on the screen
Hold on.
changes people. Now, let me finish this and then you can say your point. But if seeing it on the screen changed people, every single child born between the years 1925 through 1980 would have been straight because you barely had any representation. And up till the 70s, I don't believe you had any mainstream representation of homosexuality on television.
Well,
So
Brian
if,
chimed
if
Brian chimed in and said that was a good question, by the way. So
Thank you, Brian.
my thing is Bert and Ernie. To me, I think
They
they were
were
a gay couple. They just don't want to talk about it.
the Henson Company did say they are a gay couple years ago. That was made official, but there's nothing in Bert and Ernie other than them being two puppets that are males that are living together to insinuate it.
Brian said his first gay representation on television was Ricky on and it said SO, so I'm not really sure what the
My
SO was about.
so-called life.
My so-called life. Okay,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
but yeah, I've seen pictures from back in the 1800s of outlaws posing together, two dudes and two women, and they're being lesbian couples, and they're living on the frontier, and I've seen that. That's in history that they showed
Yeah.
that. So yeah, and then that has existed for a long time. But as in being represented good on the television, no, not until here. I'd say probably in the past at least 15 or 10 years, where we started seeing homosexuality, on the television.
And
So
it's changed nothing. The
it
only
hasn't
thing
changed
it has
anything. No.
changed is people are more aware. People see it on a more regular basis. People start to accept it when they see it on a regular basis. If you hold on to your hate, you're hurting you and you're hurting the person that you're targeting your hate against.
Yeah, and it's like I see all these online bullies about all these articles and people's chiming in. It's like it was just like all those Pride Charlotte things that was going on. All the articles on WSOC, WP. This is all local television, by the way. WSOC, WPTV, WCCB. And then people are just chiming in with all the hate. Good God! And I'm like, I would chime in as much as I could. I would say, everyone knows someone that's gay. Everyone has a family member that's gay. Everybody has a friend that's gay. Everybody has a coworker that's gay. And you're on here saying all these hurtful comments, and they're going to be seeing this. You freaking know, you freaking morons. Uh, anyway, so
But, but anyway, we'll drop it there. Just again, remember your actions are your own, and you can either make them good or you can make them worse. You can choose to be a good person, you can choose to be a bad person. You cannot choose your sexuality. Oh, and the before I go, the one other point I wanted to make about transgender people. Empathy goes a long way. I will put it to you plain and simple. I don't understand being transgender. I don't want to be transgender. However, I am not going to make the life worse for someone who is transgender because I personally don't understand it. I look at it as they have enough confusion where they feel they were born in the wrong body to begin with that I don't need to pile on to their troubles by spreading hate because I disagree or don't understand it. It has no impact on my life whatsoever what they're doing. They're not hurting anybody, including themselves. If they choose to change their sex, that is completely on them and they are not hurting anybody. And again, look at who's attacking children. This past week, I have seen at least two local stories of a school teacher abusing a child sexually. Two in the past week. Both were straight white males.
they were abusing kids sexually.
Yes.
My friend Brian's chiming in. He said he went to a Labor Day pool party get together today, and he said that there was a transgender there, and he's more butch than he was, more masculine. So
Yeah. You look at some of the transgender males, you cannot tell they were ever a female.
no, I got a personal friend of mine that's transgender, and you can't tell. He's total dude. I mean, no one knows.
Mhm.
No one.
And again, I am not holding anything against them. You're nice to me, I'm going to be nice to you. You're hateful to me, I'm going to be right back.
Chris, and I'm
So,
choosing to be hateful to you right now.
when are you not hateful to me, Paul?
Oh, please.
But anyway, that's enough on that topic. I just wanted to point out we can all do better. There's not one of us who is perfect. So just remember, use empathy in your life and towards others.
And
That's
not
all
to,
it takes.
I know we're coming up on food. We're probably going to talk about food because I
Well,
refuted.
before you say that, let me point out to people watching in case they want to ask anything, whether they're watching live, which we appreciate those watching live, or if they're watching this at a later date. Please feel free to leave questions in the comments. Leave us information that you want to see from us in the future. You can contact me through YouTube. You can contact Paul. Paul, what is your preferred method to be contacted?
I'd rather you go find me on TikTok. I'm getting a big TikTok channel now. Oh, Paul INHKY TikTok. Find me. You'll love it.
So there you go. So you can find us easily. Ask us questions. We want to be more involved with everybody watching. So please let us know what you want to see, what you want us to talk about, because that's all we're doing is just talking about stuff. And tonight I have absolutely no news articles pulled up, nothing that we're going to talk about news wise. We're just going to talk from the hip. So Paul, I think you have a food review. So we'll go to
Well,
Paul.
it's not really a food review. I've been pulling these up and looking, eating them. Y'all, these right here, these Sunkissed fruit gems. I'm addicted to them. Oh my god! You ever had these, Chris?
No, I have not.
They're Sunkissed fruit gems. You probably won't be able to eat them because they are gummy like texture. They
If they
probably
have gelatin in them, I don't eat them.
well, you might want to look that up. Anyway, it's made with real fruit juice in them. In my mind, I'm getting vitamin C.
You said it's sun-kissed fruit gems.
Sunkissed fruit gems, yeah. So I'm really addicted to those. I've been eating like a dozen of those a day. I know I'm gaining weight, but I don't care. It's coming up winter. I need to gain me some bear weight anyways. But so anyway, we're talking about Halloween coming up. There's a movie out now that I would like to go see. It's the have y'all seen the previews for I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I thought that was already out in theaters and coming to digital.
Oh, was it?
I believe so.
Yes, it is, Brian. So I see. I'm so behind the times that there's so much I wanted to see at the movie theaters, and which I know it's too late. I wanted to see Jurassic World, whatever it was. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the. It's on digital. Jurassic World is now.
Yeah, Jurassic World hit before Superman because that's the one thing I've been pointing out to people. They're dogging Superman for going to digital so quickly. Jurassic World went in the same amount of time to digital as Superman did. Nobody
But
says
the
a word
thing
about
is,
that.
on digital for Jurassic. See, we go see Weapons. It's a great. Go see Weapons. It's a great movie. Brian said.
Yeah,
So
Weapons went back to number one over the weekend. I saw.
it did.
Yes,
What's Weapons about?
I honestly don't know. I've seen bits and pieces, but
Brian,
I don't know anything.
Brian, tell me about it in like a little small sentence. But anyways, so I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the new. There's so much of the movies I didn't get to see. But Jurassic Park streaming now? Are you serious?
Jurassic World, yeah. But I want to go back to what you were talking about earlier. The Sunkist, I've looked it up on Google. Sunkissed fruit gems contain sugar, tapioca syrup, citrus pectin, natural flavor, sodium citrate, orange juice, raspberry juice, grapefruit juice, lime juice, lemon juice, and fruit and vegetable juice concentrates for color, such as carrot, apple, blackcurrant, and turmeric, and spirulina. These gems are also fat free, gluten free, and made with non GMO ingredients and colors from natural sources, making them vegan and suitable for many common dietary needs.
Children in a classroom who all disappear at 2:17 a.m. That's the premise of that movie.
Why are they in a classroom at 2:17 a.m.? That's another question.
I don't know, but see, you can eat these.
Well, I just told you their ingredients.
Yep. And they sell them at Cracker Barrel, but I found these at the Mass General store. They run out of their houses at night. That's what he said at 2:17 a.m. So about that weapons movie, the kids run out of their house at 2:17 a.m. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just like sitting there like you're having a stroke.
I
Respond to
just
me.
I had no response to it. It just
Okay,
that's
so
all it was.
they were all in the same classroom. Okay, so that's they are in the same class. There's all sorts of things coming across my feed right now. Anyways, did you see? I know we didn't want to talk about politics, but did you see what Trump looked like when he came back? He didn't have his
I
hairpiece on and no makeup on.
Yeah, and I've started doing the whole Biden done. They replaced him with a robot on Trump
Well,
because
he
let's face it, Trump went 2 days without saying a word publicly.
not a word.
Nothing, no posts, no nothing.
And I saw what was
2 days.
trending too.
Do
Trump is
what?
dead was trending. It was really
Yeah,
trending.
people thought he was dead because he wasn't seen. And of course, let me just point out here, nobody, including Joe Biden himself, had to make a social media post saying, "I'm perfectly healthy and fine, everything's okay." But I saw that Trump is also giving a Freedom of Honor or Presidential Medal of Freedom to Rudy Giuliani after he had a car wreck this weekend.
I
I was like,
guess
so if you get injured, then Trump has sympathy for you, I guess, because remember he handed the Purple Heart to a soldier and said, "Congratulations."
yeah.
So Rudy Giuliani gets hit in the car from behind and injured. Now he's getting the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, it seems like all you got to do is just be a bootlicker to Trump, and you have a little hiccup, and you can get a Purple Heart from him. Brian was telling me that he thinks it was heart failure. He's in heart failure, and Brian's a heart patient himself, so he thinks that's what's going on with him.
It very well could be. I mean, there's definitely something going on. They're not telling us all. They kept saying that Biden wasn't running the presidency, it was somebody else. Trump is definitely not running the presidency. Remember, we just had a couple weeks ago or a week ago, Trump posted Bella, Bela,
I
and
didn't see
nothing else.
that.
There was no explanation. He literally typed Bela and posted it.
Well, that's kind of like his Covefe, I guess.
Yeah. And I was like, did he fall asleep while he was starting to type and hit enter?
So,
And he fell asleep during his military parade,
and of course,
which let, let's also point out the Coast Guard had their birthday back in like August 6th and got no parade at all. So his military parade on his birthday was not a military parade, as we all knew.
okay, let's get away from him.
Gladly. As
So,
far away as we can.
as you can see, we're wearing our Halloween shirts, pre-Halloween. He's got his Michael Myers shirt on, and I've got my Salem, Massachusetts shirt on. I've been to Salem, Mass several times, and I love that place.
Because
So,
he's got to go represent his people.
yeah,
That's all. Like, we all got to remember, Paul was born on a witch's Sabbath. He is definitely a witch.
every year on June 23rd, instead of happy birthday, like everybody else is posting on my wall on my birthday on June 23rd, he always says happy witch's Sabbath, and he puts a wicked witch or something up, or a cartoon witch. Never happy birthday.
We got to go with what we know, and we know
So
that Paul makes his pilgrimage to the homeland every year
every
to
year around
Salem,
June or
Massachusetts.
July, yeah, I gotta see my
And
people. The
what's Paul's favorite movie?
well, Hocus Pocus,
And what's the franchise that Paul loves more than any other?
Harry Potter.
There you go. See, it's all about the witches with this boy.
Yeah, and well, today, while we're mentioning Harry Potter, today was the Back to Hogwarts Day. It's what it's called officially, hashtag Back to Hogwarts. And what it is the very first day that I'm going to tell you what happened over there in London as well. So every year in London at King's Cross Station, they actually always have people show up there with their wands, and symbolically at 11 o'clock, that's when the train takes off from platform 9 3/4, they have an announcement comes over King's Cross Station in London and talking about how, welcoming the students back to Hogwarts to 9 3/4, platform and blah blah, and all aboard Hogwarts Express, and people cheer. Well, this year they didn't do it because there was a threat made against it. So this year they did not do anything like that. But they did do it at the Warner Brothers Studios. Well, actually, the Harry Potter series was filmed, and which is actually being used again in a lot of the scenes that they are using it for the new Harry Potter series that they're actually filming right now for HBO. So far it's looking really good. The characters are looking good. The new Harry Potter, the new Hagrid. It's actually looking quite amazing as they're filming the first show, filming the first series of it. So, but yeah, they did a celebration there. Um, it might be Brian said is probably a threat due to J.K. Rowling's something about transphobia or
Yeah, she's
trans people.
very, very, very transphobic. We've talked about it before, where
She is.
it's it's so hard to believe that the woman who was pushing for gay rights for so long is such a horrible, horrible person to the transgender community.
And I was explaining to Chris earlier that the Warner Brothers controls the Wizarding World. Actually, she sued to try to regain control of the Wizarding World from Warner Brothers, so she could control every facet of that new series that's coming out. In fact, she wanted to shut it down, and she lost in court that she could not do it. So Warner Brothers is full steam ahead right now of doing that series, and the only thing she has is the name of the rights to Harry Potter, just the name of the rights. She doesn't have the name of the world for the Wizarding World. She doesn't own it. So right now, Warner Brothers owns the Wizarding World.
The one thing I hope to see in this new series, which I have not decided if I'm going to watch it, because
Well, they're
it's
showing
like
it
I've told Paul, I have so much animosity towards that woman for her
each
hate against
season.
the transgender community.
Each book is gonna be one season.
Right.
They're following from very beginning of the book to the very end of the book, detail by detail. So it's going to be
But
a lot
you
more
know
detail.
there's going to be changes, as there always are. You cannot translate word for word from book to screen. So things are going to change. And I hope one of the changes they make is they add a transgender character just to Spider.
Brian said he's going to watch it.
Well, like I said, I have not decided yet. I only watched the first three movies, I think, maybe four. And Dawn French was the lady in the picture, and I love her. And she was great in it. And the movies were good, but I wasn't crazy fanatical about them, so I just never got around to watching the rest of them.
I saw where one of the one of the I don't want to say little people or midget, but one of them, I believe, is Professor Flitwick. He's coming back from the first Harry Potter movies. He's playing his old character, Professor Flitwick. French and Saunders is coming back. Yeah,
Dawn French,
yeah. So they're coming
she's
back.
great. If you don't know Dawn French, if you get the chance to see The Vicar of Dibley, I highly recommend that show. Were you a fan of Absolutely Fabulous?
I love AFAB.
Okay, the original skit that spawned Absolutely Fabulous was from French and Saunders Presents.
Yeah,
Don French and Jennifer Saunders. Don French played Adina's daughter, Safi, in it. And
Sappy. Oh my God, I love that name, Sappy.
and they went from that skit. I watched a video on it earlier today on YouTube that claimed that that skit was so popular that the BBC wanted to turn it into a series. And they said that Jennifer Saunders had only intended to do 2 seasons of it, but it ended up doing a full 6 series, as they call them in Britain.
Sweetie darling. That's what Brian
But
said. He loves that. He loves Ab
oh,
Fab. He
that
goes,
Fab is
"Sweetie
fantastic.
darling."
Like if you have not watched Absolutely Fabulous, you are really missing out. There are so many great British comedies. My Hero, My Family, Absolutely Fabulous, Coupling, Father Ted, Keeping Up Appearances, Are You Being Served? I mean, there's so many
I gotta,
great British comedies out there.
I gotta tell you, whenever I was a kid, very poor growing up, we had rabbit ears, of course. I had a 12-inch television, black and white television in my bedroom, and late night on PBS, they'd always show "Are You Being Served?" and also "Keeping Up with Appearances." So I would watch "Are You Being Served?" and as Mrs. Slocum, I gotta go home at lunch and feed my pussy.
Well,
I would
the one that
die.
I loved was they were on the CB,
They
and
produced the American pilot of Ab Fab, and it was horrible. That's what Brian just said.
yeah, that's one that was another thing they talked about in the video that I watched today was that it was so poorly received that it never saw the light of day after they filmed the pilot. And I honestly I knew that Roseanne had bought the rights to doing the series in the US, and that was the last I ever heard of it. You know, she did basically turn the final season of Roseanne into Absolutely Fabulous. Her and Jackie substituted for Patsy and Adina,
I did
but
not know that.
yeah, it's I mean it's I don't know if it was the intent, but if you watch it, that's really what it was. You could tell it was very influenced by Ab Fab. And Roseanne had the rights to do the show, and in the final season, Patsy and Adina absolutely did guest star on Roseanne.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Brian just chimed in and said the pilots are on YouTube. You can watch them there.
Oh, are they? So I might have to watch it just to see how bad it was. Because Jennifer Saunders said that, from what the video said, that it was a British thing that just can't be translated. And when I first watched Absolutely Fabulous, there were I watched it 2 or 3 times before I ever saw another episode. It was always the same episode that I caught. It was the ISO tank episode where she goes down into the ISO tank and the lid gets dropped on her and she has this weird dream about adopting Romanian babies and everything. And Bubble was genius and like it was just there was so much that I didn't quite understand. And that's the other thing I point out to people with British comedies. There is a different feel to them. You have to watch a few episodes before you finally catch on to the comedy. So when you get caught into a British comedy, then you can start spreading it out and watching others because you've got the feel of their comedy. But don't judge it by The Office because it is completely different from the rest of their stuff.
I remember watching an episode of Keeping Up Appearances. They went to go test drive a Mercedes Benz from the lot, and they kept driving by the neighbor's house with that new Mercedes Benz with a
Because
sales
she
person in
had
the
to make sure that
car.
she was seen.
Yeah, kept going by. It's okay, hello, dear. Here they go again.
What what was it, number 27? Was that the the one she was always going by?
Yes. That was hilarious. But what's so are we going to get back to Halloween now?
Yeah, we need to because we got way off track here. But
Okay, good.
to spin it back, I will say that before Roseanne went all crazy and senile, her Halloween episodes are some of the best Halloween television produced.
I wouldn't know. I didn't watch them.
You didn't watch them? Her Halloween
No,
episodes were really good.
they. I didn't. I was traumatized by watching that because there was a lot of fussing and yelling on that show, and it would stress me out. I couldn't deal with it, so I had to leave. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah,
I don't
I
like.
watched it on a regular
I don't
basis
like.
back in the day.
I didn't like fussing and yelling, and Brian said the costume was great on the show. Uh, so I didn't like it. So anything that was turmoil or anything like that, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I turned the channel.
Well, I did years ago, and it was still before she went crazy and went. like she was talking about Michelle Obama being a gorilla and all that nonsense that she was spreading. I bought the DVD of the Halloween episodes of Roseanne because they collected them all in one. I mean, it was really that good. But I was something else I was watching was a Watch Mojo video of the best crossover episodes ever. And number three, spoiler alert for anybody who wants to watch it, but the video was out a year ago, so was X Cops, the episode of the X Files. And that is one of my favorite episodes of the X Files. It is easily the best cops episode ever made because I hated cops. But did you remember X Cops? You don't remember the X Cops episode?
No, honey, I don't worship the episodes like you do. I watched them maybe one time through and maybe little parts of another one, but that was it. But I do know I
Well,
love the show, but I don't remember that show. No.
you need to go back and watch it because Mulder and Scully end up riding along with the cops who are being filmed for cops.
Real?
And yes,
Oh,
and I mean it's not real cops. It's that's how the show was done.
yeah.
And they end up going to this call and people keep reporting different monsters that they have seen. Like the cop gets attacked and it's the wasp man that his brother told him about. And another woman gets attacked and she tells the sketch artist what she saw, and it was Freddy Krueger. And then there's the gay couple, Steve and Edie, which are absolutely hilarious in the episode. They don't get attacked, but they get visited several times. And I mean, it is so much comedy in that episode. And if you watch the X Files, they are great on suspense, they are great on horror, but they are fantastic on comedy when they do it.
I love X Files. Like some of the episodes we had to watch on some of the past episodes from several years ago of our podcast. That was really fun watching those. So I enjoy it.
And it gets us back to the Halloween story because X Files is one of the best shows to watch for Halloween. The Bad Blood episode, like if you want the comedy, again, Bad Blood was a great episode. Had Luke Wilson as the sheriff. And I remember Scully told about the sheriff, and he was all debonair and good looking, well spoken, and just this really well put together sheriff. And then Mulder told the same story on his version. The sheriff was a hick with buck teeth and a big
Yes.
time country accent, and just it was great. And I love that episode. But it's Bad Blood is the episode if you ever want to check that one out. It
I
has
wonder if that had
vampires in it.
I wonder if that had anything to do with Taylor Swift's song. Bad now we got bad blood, you know.
Well, if it did, Taylor Swift took it from the X Files because the X Files was well before her.
And let's just go ahead and talk about Taylor Swift. She got engaged, and it was the shot
And
heard around the world.
her boyfriend, now fiance, was actually at Pride over the weekend to go back to what you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that he made the statement something to the effect of there is no separation between the NFL and the LGBT.
Yeah.
And then I shared it tonight on Facebook. There was a post. I can't remember who it was. It was an actress's name that I recognized, but she had made the statement that Taylor Swift had written the biggest check she had seen for the charity. It was, I believe, a California hospital where they were doing music in the NICU
Yeah.
to comfort the babies when the parents couldn't be there with them. And that's something as when I shared it on Facebook, I was like, this is why I celebrate this girl. I hate her music. Still hate her music. Will always hate her music. I'm never going to like her music.
Boo.
But but the person herself is one of the best, sweetest, most giving and caring people I have ever seen. I have said it many times. She is this generation's Dolly Parton. If you don't think so, you are not paying attention and you are hating because of her political beliefs.
Yeah, Brian chimed in and said Travis Kelce is really cute. Of course he is, and his brother is too. But anyway, yeah, she's worth her weight in gold. All the money she's donated all around the world, helping this make this place a better world. I mean, come on, how can you hate on her?
And you mentioned the brother. It just made me think of him appearing briefly in WWE, and that made me think about the new deal with WWE. I don't know if you've seen it, but their premium live events that used to be pay per views because you paid to watch, like when you watched a movie, you watched a sporting event, whatever
Yeah,
was pay per view. But they are now going to take their PLEs to ESPN. Raw is on Netflix. Saturday night's main event is on Peacock. SmackDown is on USA, and I believe Peacock the next day. So
good
someone
God,
figured it out. Yeah, it's like $1,000 a year, $600 to $1,000 a year minimum to get everything the WWE offers at this point.
I remember back whenever I was a kid. Um, Ric Flair and the Rock and Roll Express was in my local gym at West Lincoln High School throwing down in there. And now look at them. I mean, I never thought that seeing that in my local gymnasium at high school as they travel from high school to high school would end up like that. That's
Well, and see,
crazy.
back then they were territories. So we were in the Mid Atlantic territory, which was owned by Jim Crockett. There was the Mid South territory, which was owned by Bill Watts. There was the Texas territories, but the biggest one was World Class Championship Wrestling, owned by the Von Erich family. Then AWA was a regional territory in the California and Minnesota, and I mean, they were all over the country. There were different territories, and so they played smaller venues. But now we have gotten to the point where TKO, who owns UFC, has bought out WWE. They have jacked the price of tickets for a
Oh,
live event.
it's like going to a Taylor Swift concert. It's how much they are. It's crazy.
Worse on some of them. I think the big events are upwards of $1,000 a ticket for
That's
ringside,
crazy. And by the way, thank
and
you to all the followers watching in on us. I see you.
and I mean, it's just there's so much that has changed. But WWE, like I said, they're spreading themselves across all these different platforms. People are not going to pay for each one.
No,
So the thing's going to happen is ratings are going to keep going down because they can't keep up with Raw and the pay per views and SmackDown and this and that and the other. It used to be that you had weekend shows and then you had the cable shows that basically recapped everything and had their own original stuff.
yeah,
So you could keep up with it through one or the other. If something happened on one show on syndication, they showed it to you on another show on syndication and highlights. Everything was shown to you. Now, I don't think they show many highlights
they
from
don't
Raw to
cross over.
SmackDown,
No,
and it's the same company, but they show their own things because they act like they're two different organizations with two different sets of belts, which is another problem where they have too many titles, but that's another story. But to sum up, the ratings are going to go down because people can't keep up with it and they're not willing to pay $600 to $1,000 a year to watch WWE.
they're not.
So whereas WWE's value is up here, with the loss of ratings, they're going to start dropping
They're going to end
unless they
up
get back
back in the
on one.
gymnasiums and high schools again, unless what's going to happen.
I mean, they're going. It's huge right now, but and honestly, right now is the time for AEW to really cash in on the facts of what WWE is doing. Saying, look, for them, you've got to watch all these different platforms. For us, we have pay per view events offered on several streamings, and we have everything else all in one place on HBO Max. So you can go without watching the pay per view and see everything on HBO Max. and you get it all in one place. You can't do that with WWE, so that's why AEW could absolutely use that as their basis and really push themselves over the top. But
They
we've
could.
gotten off of the Halloween again, as we always do. We
Well,
tend to go on these long tangents.
I want to
But
get back to Harry Potter right quick for a second. I've recently gotten the Harry Potter logos when I showed about. I do have the Sanderson sister logo village set, but I'm going to put together that. I'm right now putting together this one. It's
and
Hedwig.
I do want to promote Paul. Say your TikTok again, because the other day I did see Paul posted the video of him testing the Harry Potter's sorting hat
Yeah,
donut. So
Paul.
if you want to see Paul doing that video, Paul, again, tell him where to find you.
Paul INHKY at TikTok. So yeah, I'm putting a lot of stuff up there. This past week for back to school for Harry Potter, they did Krispy Kreme did a series of donuts. The sorting houses it was that the sorting house donut was I think I already talked about that the last show. But anyway, they're really good. And they're still going on right now until I think tomorrow. But yeah, I've never put together Legos before, so I thought I'd try my hand at this one. So it is Hedwig, and it looks very interesting. And I've already put together this part of it. Uh, that's where he's going to stand at. Isn't that cute? And I've never put Legos together. Have you, Chris?
I did as a kid, but I never did. Like, that was back when they weren't like, let's
Oh
make
God!
this
I just
huge set. There was more, you've got these things to put together for a car, and I never did use the instructions, so I was just putting bricks together basically.
well, there was a little lock here on the front of this chest. But it has the wand and a book, and it has a little picture in there of Harry's parents inside there. So I'm putting that together along with that chest, with that Hedwig. So anyway, that one piece just fell off, and I need to find it. Oh well, I'll find it here in a little bit. But
Yeah. I
anyways,
do have a Wonder Woman Lego set, but it is
yeah.
staying in the box. It's never coming out,
Well, see,
unless somebody buys it after I'm gone.
that's what I was wanting to do at Sanderson Sister Cottage and all that. But the more and more I'm putting this together, I want to get me a big old table out here and put that thing together and just unbox it and just do it. So what good is it doing in a box? But anyways, so what I know we're coming up on we're in the Burr months right now, the October, September, October, November, and December months. So what's some of the shows you plan on watching coming up? And we're only doing this show every 2 weeks, so
Well, we have just started rewatching Stranger Things.
oh God, I need to watch. When's the new season out?
I believe November 27th is season five's premiere.
Okay.
So
Are you
it,
doing the basic for Netflix, or you got the no ad Netflix?
I got a friend who has me in their account and pays the extra so I can use it.
You heard it right here. He's stealing Netflix. I'm totally going to
No,
tag him in
no.
Netflix.
My friend actually pays the additional charge every month so that I can watch it in this house.
Really?
I have friends who care about me, Paul.
You
You'll
bitch.
get the you actually get the medium. It's Sean who pays for my Netflix.
Oh,
Hey
really?
Sean, if you're watching, but I do I bought Paul tickets and I bought Sean a ticket for Heather's the Musical being put on locally here in October, which we will have a review for that when after I mean it'll be a week after we watch the show before we get to it, but we will be reviewing the local version of Heather's the Musical. There is a version available to watch on the Roku channel for anybody who wants to see Heather's the Musical live. It is on there, but I love Heather's. It was a great show, great movie. This musical was good, so I will definitely be watching this performance here.
The Heathers are heathering, but I think I'm going to do that 7.99 plan with the ads. I want to start watching all of those right quick to get built up to that. I just didn't know when it was
Well,
going to launch.
it's like I said, it feels like it's been 15 years since the last episode aired.
Well, I do know that I've seen them. Some of the faces, like in the premieres coming up, they had to have digitized their faces to make them look younger. There's no way they
It's
still look
supposed
that
to be a
young.
5-year jump.
I
The
know,
last time,
but what I'm saying is, there's no way they still look that young. There's no way they had to digitize something on their face.
but I remember Vecna had infected the town, and I can't remember all the details because, like I said, it feels like it's been 15 years since I saw the last episode.
Like
So I'm
this,
having to go back and rewatch them to be ready for the new season. And for those wanting to get into it, if you haven't watched Stranger Things before, it is perfect Halloween time viewing.
yep.
And it's 4 seasons, and that may sound like a lot, but they're only 8 episodes a season.
So it's an easy
So
watch.
yeah, I mean, some episodes I think run up to 90 minutes, but they are still only 8 episodes a season, so you can get through it before November 27th when the new ones premiere.
Well, I've been holding my breath for years, so I'm looking forward to that. One of my very good. You ever watched any of the new adventures of Sabrina
I
on
did. I
there?
tried watching the first episode and I just couldn't get into it.
Oh God, that's another good Halloween one. It's a revamp of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, except it's on a much darker level. I mean, it's like witchcraft, dark witchcraft. So it really surprises me. But I've watched the season one time, and I want to get back watching that show again. Watch all those again for Halloween coming up. That's going to be my go to as well. Of course,
Um,
it's Salem, which
of course, because his people. But
yeah,
I
it's my
did see
people.
in that I did see in that thing today from Watch Mojo that the Sabrina and Riverdale crossover made the list. And of course, for those who know, Sabrina and Archie were comic books before they were Riverdale TV show and Sabrina TV show.
I remember that
So,
when I was little. Archie
and
comics,
and it was
but
Archie comic. They had the Riverdale and the Jughead and Archie comics
at
titles.
Veronica
It was Archie Comics, if I'm not mistaken, was the company, and they also published Sabrina the Teenage Witch in those comics.
and don't forget Veronica. Veronica
Yeah,
was in there.
Betty and Veronica.
Betty and
They had their
Veronica.
own title.
I think I have some of those old comic books still when I was a kid. I'm
Well,
pretty sure I do.
well, since Riverdale and Sabrina, those did go up in value. I don't know if they're still up, but they
Um,
did go up in value.
Brian just chimed in and said that Wednesday's a good series to watch for Halloween as well.
It is, and I've not watched it yet, but I know that of course, the Adams Family. Hello, right here, the complete series,
Oh, there you go.
all
On
the DVDs there.
DVD.
But and the I have not checked in a long time, but the Adams Family had a channel on Pluto TV, a live stream channel that was just the Adams Family, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I'm gonna
And
have to check for that. Brian, do you have
it
Pluto? Could you check
are
that out?
I I can't right now because I don't have anything to pull up Pluto
No,
TV with.
I said Brian.
Oh, but the other thing is if you have Peacock, because the Adams Family you can stream free many places, like the Roku channel, I believe has the Adams Family. The Pluto TV, like I said, had the complete channel for them,
Yeah.
probably on demand as well. I know there's other. I think Tubi has the Adams Family, but if you have Peacock, you can watch the other one, which was the Munsters.
Oh my God. Do you
Again,
remember? Brian says
the
he doesn't
complete.
have Pluto, but do you remember? That reminded me. Do you remember watching the Groovy Ghoulies growing up?
I do. It was it Hanna Barbera that did them, or
That
was
was
it
a Hanna
somebody else?
Barbera show, the Groovy Ghoulies, and you can actually watch them. I saw them on. They got YouTube episodes, the Groovy Ghoulies,
I'm trying to remember
and
because
they had some bangers back then. Does
it
anybody
was
else remember
the.
the Groovy Ghoulies out there? Anybody chime in? You can chime in on the live chat down below here.
I'm looking it up here on the computer. Groovy Ghoulies. Who made it? Who made it?
I would ask Siri, but I'm using my phone.
Filmation. So it was Filmation that did it. But
Filmation.
while I've got it pulled up here, I'll show get that off the screen. But
The Groovy
that is
Ghoulies.
what comes up.
God, I love the werewolf on there. There was a T-shirt for sale when I was down in. Does Universal have anything to do with you, Groovy Ghoulies? Because I was down there, and they were selling T-shirts in this Halloween shop, and it had the Groovy Ghoulies on the T-shirt.
No, I'm trying to think of the family that moved in next to the Flintstones. You remember them? It was Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein, Dracula, and all
Oh, you're
them.
awakening some memories that I totally forgot about.
I'm, I'm, I've got the DVD that has it, but I cannot think of what the names are. So, Brian, if you can chime in, if you remember, anybody else out there that's watching can chime in and let me know. But I do remember, and I just cannot come up with the names. I can see them crystal clear in my mind. I just cannot think of their names right offhand.
I can't think of them either. But you awakened a memory in me that I had totally forgotten about. Now I can see their pictures in my face, but I can't in my head, but I cannot think of the names. And Brian just said he doesn't remember.
And I'll try to look it up here real quick.
So
But
there is well coming up with Halloween, there is the new Conjuring movie. Is it out yet, Chris?
no, it is not out yet.
The new Conjuring movie is coming out, and it's I believe it's called Conjuring Last Rites. If I'm not
The
mistaken.
gruesome, the gruesomes were the family next door.
And
They
the
were, but
gruesomes. Now, speaking of The Conjuring, did you see where Matt Rife, the Frankenstones? That's what Brian said.
there was. I mean, there were two different ones because you can see there's them, and then
I
there's the ones
remember
I was
them.
actually talking about.
I remember them.
Those are the gruesomes, and that's the
So,
family I was talking about.
okay, my ADD's kicking in. I need to tell you this before before I forget it. Did you see where Matt Rife and the other gentleman bought the rights to Annabelle and the whole macabre museum from the
Yeah, I
Warrens
saw
for
something about
5 years? What could possibly go wrong? And they're actually putting the whole collection on tour. The whole collection on tour. They're actually going to have it at the premiere over in London. They're going to have the whole collection on premiere over in London for the Conjuring Last Rites.
it. Yeah.
Don't they know that Annabelle killed people where she went? Really?
If you believe in it, you can let things happen to you. If you don't, you might have the power to stop it. So
Oh shit! You ain't gonna stop Annabelle. That's one of the most haunted things on the face of the planet. They bless that thing every day, like several times a day with holy water. Mm-mm. No, she's supposed to be stayed locked up in that glass cabinet. Hell no. Whenever when the Warrens told them not to touch her, don't do anything with her, don't even look at her in the eyes, and they're going, look at me, here, mom and dad, here's a Raggedy Ann doll, boo, motherfucker's gonna kill you. Is what's gonna happen. Mm-mm. Nope.
well, moving on with more Halloween stuff.
What? You ain't gonna talk a bit about Annabelle?
No, I'm moving on to something else because I have such sights to show you.
Ooh, that's from that's
Hellraiser.
the cube from hold on, don't tell me.
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser. Yeah. Don't
And
you
I'm
mess with that.
trying.
Don't you mess with that thing. Pinhead's gonna come after you.
It's not the easiest, but you can get this thing to come apart and then put it back in, and you can.
You better
I
watch
meant
out.
to.
They're gonna those what is it? Those Menobites or whatever they are going to show up behind you with the chattering teeth and the pinhead and all them others.
I meant to turn it, and I turned it too far. Now I can't get. It's not the easiest thing to get this thing to separate. as
Well,
you can see, it doesn't just push.
there's a reason why you're not supposed to separate Chris.
No, it is. It's made to be done like I just did. I showed you it comes in two parts.
You just
And
unlocked an alternate universe. That's all I'm saying.
well, you can see, well, but the Hellraiser series, it did end up dropping off at the end.
I'll tell you
But
what,
the
Hellraiser Part
first four
1.
movies I loved.
Hellraiser Part 1 was awful. With the skin coming off the bodies and stuff. Yuck. No.
Oh, the thing that disgusted me the most was the woman who sucked fingers in the second one, and then she sucked the fleshless finger of the guy. I was like, oh, that is just disgusting. How could you stick that in your mouth?
American Horror Story, Coven, Asylum, and something else that went away before I could read it. But I love American Horror Story Coven. One of my friends actually is rewatching that series right now. Did you ever watch any of those?
1984 was great.
1984 was actually really good. I enjoyed that one.
That was one of my favorites. The Coven I liked a lot. Freak Show was good. The Election was awful. I mean, it was too much after going through the worst election in history until the last election. But it was like the Will and Grace episode that was about the election. It was not what I wanted to be viewing. I wanted an escape. I didn't want to keep seeing the reality, but putting my cube back up because I can't get it to separate again. So I have to work on it when I actually can. But the the Roanoke episodes of American Horror Story was okay,
I
not
actually
great.
enjoyed that one, the Roanoke. Asylum and
Hotel
Horror
was
House.
really
That's what he
good.
said. Brian said Asylum and Horror House.
The first season was one of the best, easily. The horror or the house, the murder house, and then the second season was Asylum, and it was really good. But the one thing I wanted to point out is the connection of horror movies and shows to Wonder Woman. Because remember, American Horror Story did American Horror Story 1984 the same year Wonder Woman 1984 came out, but Wonder Woman kept getting pushed back because of COVID. Wonder Woman, the TV show, in 1979, the episodes were The Boy Who Knew Her Secret, parts 1 and 2. Diana Prince goes to where? Crystal Lake.
Oh, that's right.
1980, Jason is terrorizing Camp Crystal Lake in Friday the 13th. So there is a definite connection between
I
Wonder
thought
Woman and horror.
I
And if
thought
you
the
need something like easy viewing while I'm on this subject, Wonder Woman has some really good episodes for Halloween. There's the Starships Are Coming, which is basically a War of the Worlds tale. There is the Seance of Terror, where I mean, it pretty much tells you that there's a seance in it, and there's some others in there along the way, but those are the two that really stand out that for Halloween type episodes.
I thought the first Friday 13th came out in 79. Was it not 79?
No, it was 1980.
1980? Okay. Now you do know that you can still tour the original the original Camp Crystal Lake up in New Jersey. They're actually, you can tour it now. I follow them on TikTok. They have a TikTok channel showing all the cabins and everything that they use, and they're still in use. They're actually using. They're using it for a Boy Scout and stuff like that, for the Boy Scouts to use. But when they're not, they actually at night they use as a Camp Crystal Lake tour at night. So it's the same cabins. It's so cool, and it's the same lake, same everything. Everything's still there. They just kept it up.
Uh, and then for listening pleasure, for those of who want to hear, of course, you can't talk Halloween and listening without mentioning the War of the Worlds, as I mentioned a minute ago. One of the greatest Halloween stories ever. The fact that they terrified so many people with the broadcast that they kept saying was a broadcast,
Yeah,
that it was not real.
people thought it was
And
real.
Yeah, people were terrified, but again, it was what 1939 when it was on the radio,
Yep.
and it was something completely different, and people bought into it. I mean, there's a whole history there to, but songs. Let's move on to songs because we know Paul's going to throw out Thriller because Paul loves his Michael Jackson, and of course, you can't talk Halloween music without mentioning Thriller. There's just no way to do it. But some other songs that I love to listen to, one is "Nature Trail to Hell" by Weird Al Yankovic, which is a fantastic song. And then there's "Red Right Hand" by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, which featured in an episode of The X Files, featured in one of the greatest horror franchises in my book, Scream, which let's just give that one a nod here because we've got Scream.
Love Scream. And I can't wait
This
for
is,
part 7 to come out next year.
this is the original DVD set that just had the three movies in it.
Yeah.
But
Now, the best horror best horror song is the Monster Mash. You can't get any better than Monster
yes,
Mash. So,
and you know the Queen of Horror herself, Elvira.
Elvira.
She has several songs. I have Elvira Presents Haunted Hits. Hits. She said hits. As she points out on the CD. But the she does Monster Rap and The Bride of Frankenstein original songs on there. She took the song Holiday by Madonna, used the music, and did Don't Cancel Halloween during COVID, which was a fun little song. She's got the song Two Big Pumpkins, which you can tell where that's going, but that's another one of her songs for Halloween. And she holds the pumpkins right up in front of her.
Of course she does.
But
So,
Elvira, there was a sitcom pilot that you can watch on YouTube, and it was actually a really good pilot. I wish it would have gone to series. Somehow I never knew about it. I think the pilot actually aired on TV, but it never got picked up to series. And of course, there's Elvira's Haunted Hills, which is hilarious. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, the original movie she was in. She was at WrestleMania 2. There are so many appearances of Elvira that you can use to really fill that Halloween need. Episode of Medium, she was in the cold open of the show.
now, do you remember? Also, there's another show, Charmed. You can watch Charmed for Halloween, the original Charmed. That's one of my favorites. Of course, it's witchy. Shut up. And then there is. Oh, I had it on the tip of my tongue. I remember whenever Bob and Sherry interviewed the guy who wrote the Monster Mash. Been
Bobby
years
Boy.
ago. They interviewed him. He lived in New York. He lived in. I don't think he's alive anymore. So he lived in New York, and that's the only song he ever produced. He didn't produce anything else. And they said, "Well, did you become rich off of that?" He said, "Put it to you this way." He said, "It paid my rent, paid my bills, gave me spending money for my whole life." He said, "That's all I ever wanted," which is cool. One song did that.
And actually, there's multiple songs of the Monster Mash if you look into it. There's a Christmas one. There's another, like two or three Halloween type ones that they did. So, and then if you want lighter fare and still want murder, you can. I know they're on Peacock. I'm pretty sure they're on Roku channel, other streamers where you can watch them free with ads. Alfred Hitchcock Presents is a fantastic series. Although my favorite Alfred Hitchcock episode was from the Alfred Hitchcock Hour. It was season 3, and it was called An Unlocked Window. That to me was the best episode of Alfred Hitchcock done as far
Well,
as the TV shows go.
you can find a lot of those streaming on YouTube now because of
Yeah,
the um, the what is it, the some kind of law about video, um about copyrights or something. It's actually out of its copyrights or whatever because it's so old.
Well, it's supposed to be 100 years, and they lose the copyright because Superman's coming up. Mickey Mouse is already on public domain. But some shows went to public domain somehow. Like there's episodes of Beverly Hillbillies that went to public domain, but they had to change the theme song for the public domain.
Yeah.
So it's like banjo music, but it's not the Ballad of Jed Clampett.
Well,
But,
so um we are at 70 minutes now.
and then we've given real quick just a list. If I have to choose something for Halloween, one
No,
of
we
the
got a
first
lot more we
choices,
can talk to you about Halloween, by the way.
yeah,
So,
but one of the first choices is the X Files, of course. TV shows, we didn't mention Supernatural, which is perfect.
oh God, yes, Supernatural.
Um, Alfred Hitchcock, The Munsters, The Addams Family, Lighter Fare, Bewitched.
Oh yeah, the
Um,
original Bewitched. There is a
I know
statue of Elizabeth Montgomery standing in the center of Salem, by the way.
there's movies about mummies like The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, the original Universal Studios monsters movies like Frankenstein and The Mummy and all that. There's The Lost Boys, which is the single greatest vampire film ever made. There's Interview with the Vampire. I have not seen Nosferatu. I've heard mixed reviews on it.
I saw it. Watch it. You let me know what you think. I've seen it though, but it's streaming right now on Disney. I think it is.
But as far as Halloween specific episodes, it's not Halloween without It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. And we were at Cracker Barrel tonight looking at the country store there. They have a vinyl record of the Great Pumpkin in the shape of a pumpkin.
Oh, that's cool. I
It's
hope
an
you got
orange
it.
orange vinyl and it's in the shape of a pumpkin.
I hope you got it because that sounds
No, it
collector
was
item.
$35 and I left it sitting there. But
Well,
vinyl is so freaking expensive.
yeah, they are.
Like they break easily and they make you pay an arm and a leg for something that you
I
can't really transport anywhere.
I just collect mine. That's all I do. I don't ever play them. I don't have a record player.
Well, I've got several Madonna records. I've got the original "Who's That Girl" single in the sleeve, which is a
Oh yeah.
fantastic song. But as far as Halloween episodes, there's I hate to mention it because of Bill Cosby, but Fat Albert Halloween special was always a plus. Um, like I said, Roseanne had some of the best Halloween television ever. I never did watch Modern Family, but Robert Englund actually performed as Freddy Krueger for the final time on Modern Family,
Oh, I have to pull that up and see what he looks like.
and they had Freddy's Tales, the Nightmare on Elm Street TV series.
I remember that.
There's the Friday the 13th series that had nothing to do with Jason at all. Um, Grimm is on the here not Heroes and Icons Comet TV, which is a free over the air channel. And last I checked, it had an app where you could watch it live as well. So I mean, there's tons of things. Tubi, I'm sure, has started putting their horror movies together and horror shows. Roku channel, HBO Max, Disney Channel or Disney Plus, the Peacock, all the paid ones are going to start putting together their Halloween stuff. So if you've watched through to this point, let us know what you're going to be watching for the future episodes. And if you have anything to add to what we've talked about, Paul, is there anything specific you're looking forward to this Halloween?
What I'm looking forward to is just Halloween in general because it's one of my favorite times of year. So I'm looking forward to what we're experiencing right now: the crisp, cool nights, the warm days, flannel, candles, pumpkin spice. Just give it to me.
And you know, the weather has turned early here this year,
It
so
has. It's actually gotten
I,
cooler a lot earlier now. So,
I
and I hope
don't
the
know if we
trend
can say that. Like
continues.
it was a drastic change. Like it was 90 degrees in the 90s, well into the 90s one week, and the next week it didn't get out of the 70s.
Nope.
So,
Down in
I mean,
some
it
of the
was a
nights down
drastic
in
change.
some of the nights here in the Carolinas, down here in the 50s. That's not including the mountains, just in the areas where we live at. So it's supposed to be down in the 50s, upper 50s again tonight. So that's good sleeping weather.
Yeah, I came home the other night at 11:30. It was 61 degrees on my ride home.
Ooh, that's nice. So, but yeah, we're gonna have more shows coming up. We'll be talking about some Halloween stuff coming up, some other things because it's one of the biggest times of the year.
And like I said,
And I'm gonna
tonight I just
have
wanted a little bit laid back show. So
and I'm gonna have some of my Halloween stuff that I bought, and I'll be showing it on the next show. I'll have it over here beside me, going, "Look at this!" Oh, and he's putting that mask back on.
so as we close out, we gotta close out with a bang. And you know these eyes, there's like something in the eyes, so the light that's shining at me is like it's almost like the warp speed in Star Wars, where the stars start coming at you. That's what I'm
Actually,
seeing
Chris,
through the thing.
that's an improvement. I like that.
And Paul, I'm trying to stay the low enough rating here, so I am not going to throw the sign up that I was going to throw at you. But people out
Oh,
there can figure out what the sign I was going to throw up is.
well, you're number one too, Chris.
But anyways, Paul, do you have any parting words?
Be kind, be safe, be good to each other, y'all.
And remember, empathy is the key. Do not treat others terrible. There is a golden rule in the Bible. It says, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That is good advice. If you're going to take nothing else from the Bible when you cherry pick it, take that advice. The best thing you can do. But
Oh,
until then, next week or in 2 weeks, we'll see y'all later. Goodbye, everybody.
goodbye. Have a good night.